Committee. My name is TJ Hunterlaw, and I am the president of Hunterlaw Construction Remodeling. As a small business owner of a construction company, I believe it's time to end prevailing wage. It creates unnecessary barriers to entry for local businesses. It benefits only the large contractors who bid enough big jobs that it's profitable for them to be familiar with this system. Just this past year, the Mason Historical Society wanted to add on and expand their building. Being born and raised in Mason and a small town contractor, I was hopeful for the opportunity to be able to have my company play a part in this hometown project. Unfortunately, I was told that the job would be paying prevailing wage and that I would have to file the paperwork required for that. It was then that I understood why many small town projects were done by big town contractors. Many times I hear how Ohio is working to become more business friendly. This very committee works very hard to pass legislation to do just that. I can tell you from a compliance standpoint, current prevailing wage laws create a burden on small town projects. I pride myself on providing my customers with quality service. As a general contractor with no employees, I would be prohibited from using existing partnerships unless they too were willing to comply with the prevailing wage process. The people at the Historical Society seemed equally confused as they had difficulty in directing me on where and how and even what steps I need to do to meet the state expectations on this project. After a little research and speaking with other firms, I was told to pass on the project. I was told it's not worth the trouble to meet the regulations of prevailing wage. Let someone in Cincinnati bid the job. Chairman Young, members of the committee, as a small business owner, I pride myself on the quality of work and fair compensation. Prevailing wage laws discourage people like me from bidding on the local government projects. Passage of HB 163 will make it easier for local governments to complete projects and keep it local. And after all, isn't that what's important? Supporting local businesses and local workers. So thank you for your time today, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Representative Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here today. I'm just a little confused about how you're structured, so I want to make sure that I understand that before I ask my question, if that's okay by the chair. So if you're a general contractor with no employees, so do you work by yourself or do you have other people that you work with? Can you just sort of explain that structure to me to start out?
Absolutely. Mr. Chairman, Representative, I am self-employed, and I started out 16 years ago as I did all the work. As my business grew, I used more subcontractors. So I now bring in all my jobs. I can do multiple jobs, and I bring in electricians, plumbers, roofers, every trade there is to finish the jobs and do that. So that's why here, not only would when I bid the prevailing wage job, I'd have to do that. It's not just me, since I don't have the employees, but my subcontractors then have to go through the same steps and follow that same paperwork to be able to then find their employees or whoever they sub it out to do it.
Ask a follow-up. So with that structure of your business, then you don't have to do anything in terms of, retirement benefits or healthcare benefits or anything like that. And the reason why I ask is because to my understanding of prevailing wage, the wage includes things like benefits also. Is that accurate?
Mr. Chairman, Representative, I actually have no idea about prevailing wage on how that works with benefits. My understanding is that it's basically almost 2.5 times what we pay normally our most guys. And whenever they then work, they get that job and then they go out work waiting for the next big one, and they make no more money on the year.
Can I ask one more follow-up? So as a small contractor, we talk a lot about, a lot of these jobs, whether they're road jobs or anything else related to prevailing wage, are generally bigger jobs that tend to require a larger outfit. But in the private sector, you can essentially do whatever you please to do. There's no prevailing wage law that comes sort of into context. And so I guess my question would be, For somebody like you, I mean, I get like with the Mason Historical Society or something like that, but if we're talking about small contractors, is it realistic to say that like a one-man shop maybe should be bidding on something for state highways, or, you know, that there's a space for everyone in the economy? So, you know, maybe the smaller contractors take smaller private jobs and the bigger contractors, you know, are better equipped to do, you know, the larger jobs. Can you just talk a little bit about how prevailing wage sort of impacts you in a way that's bigger than just on this one job? I mean, maybe it never has, but can you just talk a little bit more about that and help me understand that?
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry, that was a long question. I apologize, Mr. Chair.
Sure, I don't have a lot of experience. I'm mostly a residential contractor. I've done probably 80% of my work is residential, but my experiences have been, especially through this, with the Historical Society, being that it has to be prevailing. I just back away from that. I'm sure that any construction job, the larger it is, the bigger the construction job, construction company is that's bidding that work. So if you're talking highway work, right, I don't get into all of that, but the point is that here with the prevailing wage kicked me out of even being able to bid on this job. It's sad. I mean, I didn't make the money. The people I know didn't make the money. You had much larger companies coming in here to then do this job. Does that make sense?
Can I ask just one more follow-up, and it's brief, and it's a yes/no?
Just one more.
So is that the only prevailing wage job that you've been interested in bidding on in your entire time that you've been in the construction industry? And thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Representative Kelly, it is the only one that I was interested in bidding on because I had shied away from anything else that came before me. I wasn't interested in even attempting to try to get a hold of. But this project was dear to my heart. I'm born and raised in Mason, you know what I mean? And I wanted to contribute to this, and I had numerous other contractors I talked to, home builders, that said, you don't want to party this, back away from it. It's not worth the headache of doing it, is what they told me, and they backed away. I was looking for anybody that would be able to assist me through this. So, I mean, that's what I had to deal with. Okay?
Any other questions? Thank you for your time.